Russian President Dmitry Medvedev revisited the issue of the European Security Treaty today while visiting Cyprus. Medvedev argued that intractable conflicts like Cyprus cannot be resolved by the current European security architecture, and that a new architecture that involves Russia should be built. The reason the Russian security treaty proposal is important is because it's coming at a time when Russia is trying to unbalance the European security architecture. There are two key events coming forward. One is a France, Germany, and Russia summit in France on October 18th and 19th, and the second one happens exactly a month later in November when NATO heads of state meet in Lisbon to rewrite NATO's strategic concept. The security meeting in France is important because it illustrates how Germany, Russia, and France are coordinating more and more on security matters. And this is a message that Moscow wants to send to Central Europeans to unsettle them, to make them realize that Russia has very good relationships with Western European powers that Central Europeans expect to be their NATO allies. And then a month later, at the NATO summit, what's going to become quite clear is that Western Europeans' perceptions of Russia and Central Europeans' perceptions of Russia are completely different. In fact, the Central Eastern European countries, such as the Baltic states, Poland, Czech Republic, Slovakia, and Hungary, want to reaffirm Article 5 of NATO's collective self-defense, and therefore to re-illustrates that NATO, at the end of the day, is really about the Russian threat. The United States is distracted in the Middle East, which allows Russia to unsettle Europeans and to play Western Europeans against the Central Eastern Europeans. But more importantly, because the US is distracted in the Middle East, Russia wants to create a security architecture that will guarantee that the gains made by Russia's current resurgence, especially in Ukraine and Georgia and soon to be Moldova, are guaranteed after US ends its involvement in the Middle East. The fundamental problem for Eastern and Central Europe is that it cannot depend on Western Europe to guarantee its security against Russia, because Western Europe and Russia have robust economic and energy relationships that are more important than guaranteeing Central European defense. Therefore, Central Europeans want to bring United States to the table, and they will continue to do so in this decade.